When you're stressed, your body doesn't just crave junk food for comfort. Within 15 minutes of experiencing stress, cortisol levels in your bloodstream surge. Cortisol, known as the stress hormone, signals your brain to seek out high-calorie foods. This is contrary to the belief that stress simply weakens self-control. In reality, it's a biochemical reaction that triggers these cravings. As cortisol rises, it activates your brain's reward centers, making the idea of eating sugary or fatty foods feel rewarding. This mechanism is why, under stress, you might find yourself reaching for a donut instead of a salad. Stress-induced cravings aren't merely about willpower, they're rooted in your brain's chemistry. The neurotransmitter serotonin, which stabilizes mood, drops in stressful situations. When serotonin levels fall, your brain compensates by craving carbohydrates, which can boost serotonin levels quickly. This is why stress often leads to carbohydrate-heavy food choices. Surprisingly, a 2016 study published in Appetite found that 62% of stressed individuals turn to high-carb snacks. As you consume these foods, your body releases insulin to manage the sudden blood sugar increase. This cycle ensures that stress keeps you returning to junk food. You might think that indulging in junk food during stressful times is just habit. However, it's more about evolutionary survival mechanisms. When you're stressed, your body perceives it as a threat, similar to ancient times when food scarcity was real. Thus, your brain urges you to consume high-calorie foods as a reserve. A 2018 study in Psychological Science found that stress-induced eating is linked to survival instincts. This means your body's response to stress is not a flaw, but rather a relic of human evolution. Thus, stress turns junk food into an instinctual choice. Shortly after consuming junk food under stress, the body's blood sugar levels spike. This rapid increase can lead to a temporary mood lift, which is a deceptive comfort. Within 30 minutes, your body releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure. This dopamine release is akin to the response from addictive substances, as noted in a 2015 study in neuropsychopharmacology. It's not merely the taste but the chemical reward that reinforces the craving. Consequently, your brain starts associating stress relief with junk food consumption. This creates a cycle that makes junk food your go-to stress reliever. The assumption that stress eating is purely psychological underestimates the body's biochemical response. Inside you, the hormone ghrelin plays a pivotal role. Known as the hunger hormone, ghrelin levels increase during stress, intensifying hunger signals. A 2014 study in molecular psychiatry showed that elevated ghrelin levels can drive not just hunger but specific cravings for high-fat foods. This hormonal activity means your body isn't just seeking food, it's targeting specific types for immediate energy. What seems like a simple craving is a complex hormonal dance inside you. Inside your gut, stress alters the composition of the microbiome. The gut-brain axis, a communication network linking your gut and brain, becomes disrupted under stress. This disruption influences your cravings. A 2019 study in Nature reviews gastroenterology and hepatology highlighted how stress reduces the abundance of lactobacillus bacteria. These bacteria help maintain emotional stability by producing gamma-aminobutyric acid, GABA, a neurotransmitter that calms the brain. With fewer lactobacilli, GABA production drops, intensifying stress and cravings. So, stress-induced junk food cravings are partly driven by changes in your gut's microbial community. When stress hits, your hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal (HPA) axis springs into action. The HPA axis is a hormone cascade that starts in your brain and ends in your adrenal glands, releasing cortisol. This process, while essential for survival, can amplify your taste for high-calorie foods. Cortisol not only raises blood sugar but also enhances your taste receptors for sweetness and fat. A 2017 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that cortisol can increase your taste perception for sugar by up to 20%. This hormonal shift means stress literally makes junk food taste more appealing. Inside your bloodstream, stress affects the endocannabinoid system, which regulates mood and appetite. When stressed, levels of endocannabinoids, lipid molecules that bind to cannabinoid receptors, increase. These molecules mimic the effects of THC, the active component in cannabis, enhancing pleasure from eating. A 2018 study in Annals of the New York Academy of Sciences discovered that stress-induced endocannabinoid production can double your caloric intake from junk food. This mechanism explains why stress makes junk food not only tempting but nearly irresistible. Your body essentially rewards you twice, once for eating and again for the type of food chosen. Stress impacts leptin, the hormone responsible for signaling satiety or fullness. When you're stressed, leptin sensitivity decreases, meaning your brain doesn't receive the full signal as effectively. This desensitization encourages overeating, particularly of calorie-dense foods. A 2016 study in Cell Metabolism found that stress can reduce leptin sensitivity by 30%, leading to increased junk food consumption. This means your body is tricked into thinking it's hungrier than it is, particularly craving foods that are energy-rich. So stress not only makes you more likely to crave junk food, but also less likely to feel satisfied after consuming it. Dopamine, often dubbed the reward neurotransmitter, plays a crucial role in stress-related eating. Under stress, your brain's dopamine receptors become more active, increasing the desire for rewarding stimuli. Junk food stimulates these receptors significantly, akin to addictive drugs. A 2017 study in biological psychiatry illustrated that stress can enhance the activity of dopamine receptors by up to 40%. This heightened sensitivity explains why stressed individuals find junk food more rewarding than when they are calm. Inside you, this heightened dopamine activity forms a loop, making junk food cravings stronger and harder to resist. Under chronic stress, your body experiences persistent hormonal imbalances that amplify junk food cravings. Over time, elevated cortisol levels can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells don't respond effectively to insulin. A 2020 study in Diabetology found that persistent stress doubled the risk of insulin resistance over a decade. This condition makes it harder for your body to regulate blood sugar, increasing cravings for quick energy sources like junk food. As insulin resistance develops, your cravings become not just psychological but a physiological necessity to maintain energy levels. This cycle can become a persistent challenge in stress management. Consuming excessive junk food under stress can have long-term impacts on your brain's reward system. Over time, the constant stimulation of dopamine receptors can lead to desensitization, requiring more junk food to achieve the same pleasure. A 2019 study in Nature Neuroscience found that individuals with chronic stress exhibited reduced dopamine receptor sensitivity after just 6 weeks. This adaptation can lead to overconsumption, as your brain seeks to regain the lost reward sensation. Essentially, your brain's chemistry shifts to a state where more junk food is necessary to feel good, locking you into a cycle of stress eating. The liver, your body's detox powerhouse, also feels the impact of stress-driven junk food consumption. Excessive intake of high-fat and high-sugar foods can lead to fatty liver disease, even without alcohol. A 2021 study in the Journal of Hepatology indicated that stress combined with junk food consumption increased the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease by 50%. Your liver's ability to process nutrients and detoxify the body gets compromised, making it less efficient. This condition underscores how stress-induced eating can have cascading effects on your body's organs over time. When stress becomes a constant companion, even your gut microbiome can't escape the effects. Chronic exposure to junk food alters the diversity and function of gut bacteria, weakening your immune system. A 2022 study in gut microbes revealed that long-term junk food diets can reduce beneficial bacterial strains by 30%. These changes can lead to increased inflammation and even mood disorders as the gut-brain connection falters. This persistent imbalance not only heightens stress responses but also exacerbates cravings, creating a feedback loop that is hard to break. Food companies invest millions in creating addictive junk foods that exploit stress-induced cravings. They engineer products to achieve the bliss point, a perfect combination of sugar, fat, and salt that maximizes pleasure. A 2018 investigation published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that foods designed for the bliss point triggered 30% more dopamine release than whole foods. This engineered pleasure makes it challenging for your brain to resist, especially under stress. The most surprising fact? Your brain's response to these engineered foods can be as powerful as its response to drugs, reshaping how you view stress cravings.